All right, welcome everyone. Happy, Thursday morning. It's time for a work together power hour. And I'm super pumped about this because I was actually on a work with me power hour with Brooke Hemingway yesterday. And so I'm going to be using a lot of the training that she did and the tasks that she had everyone do. And we're going to do it today. So we're just going to duplicate exactly what we did yesterday. And I'm going to give a lot of her wording examples. So I'm really pumped about this because I felt like she addressed some common things that happen. And so if you have any stuck messages or you are in kind of a space of like, oh my goodness, I don't, I'm not sure, what to say next, we're going to address those things. So I'm excited about that. And one of the things that we talked about yesterday in the call that was, I think, really important was who am I talking to? So if you have not taken a hot minute to get organized with your connections, do it. So the 90-day planner is fabulous for this because it has worksheets that you can fill out at the top of the month. And so the past couple of days I've been working on just consolidating all of my scraps of paper. And, because I have people that are like, I want to be on your VIP list for active. I want to, I have a little thing going for anyone that wants to memorize Psalm 91 with us. So I have those people on a list. I have my new ambassadors written down, just people that I'm connecting with. And then I have my list that's just an ongoing list of, people I'm chatting with, following up with. Still haven't made the decision to go ahead and try Plexus. So I did make a post on the Consistency Club group today just to jog your memory, and it's actually a prize post to tag your people. But I'm giving away a free 90-day planner I'm doing a drawing for people that will make their hot 20 list. So if you have some brand new people or you're brand new, the first thing you need to start with is your hot 20 list. So a lot of times that's what has paralyzed me in the past. And when I sit down, I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? Who am I reaching out to? But if I have a pre-plan of, hey, this is my list of people, and I just like prep before I go reach out, I'm so much more efficient, and I can just like whip them out, bang them out, and that kind of thing. But the biggest thing for me is figuring out who I'm reaching out to. Okay, so a couple of different categories. Who am I developing relationships with? Who is in the funnel? So those would be people that I'm, already in conversation with about Plexus. And then, maybe have a space for, a blank space, a big sheet of paper where, you're going to meet people or you're going to see people that have never commented or liked on any post before, or new Facebook friends or whatever. Those are where the people are going to write in the blank space. Okay. And right now is time to ramp it up into high gear. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but there's a lot of momentum. And the time to really press in is when you feel the momentum coming. And sometimes it's counterintuitive because you think, oh, I don't want this big wave of momentum to come and then I can't keep up with it. You got to ride the wave. But I think it's like when you're on the beach and you take your buggy board and you like pop in and just dive in and, you get covered with the wave and it's crazy, whatever, but you end up coming out of the wave eventually. And it's still water, things like that. And so I just want to encourage everyone, when you feel like, oh, wow, like I feel like there's, so many people in the funnel, or my team is starting to get excited, or, I got a bunch of people started last month, I'm pumped for this. Press in. Don't just be like, okay, so now I take the month off. Let these people try their products. Nope. We're going to press in and be excited and continue to work. Because the thing is, as we continue to work, we get better at what we're doing. We get better at our craft. We get better at talking to people. And then obviously you want to have your whole list of potential people. Hey, everyone that's popping on. So I do have a post on the Consistency Club that's posting tonight that I'm really excited about. So make sure you check in at 7:30 tonight. Hey guys. Because I'm going to post a little task, a weekend homework task that's going to be really fun. Okay, so we're making our list. We're talking about who we're talking to this month. And so one thing that Brooke had said on that call yesterday is your potentials can include your levels 1s, 2s, 3s. And so finding out what those people's goals are. If you're brand new, and you're just starting a couple of people, you only have level ones at this point. But for those of you who have worked the business for longer, don't just bank on your level ones. Find out like what are your level twos goals. Go in and follow up. Wake up those messages. How many three-way messages have you done? With people, and your person, your level one, may not know how to follow up or to go back in that message and wake it up, right? I just did this with my friend Cami. She's on the products. I helped her, actually went and placed her order for her, and she was only going to order ProBio 5 and E's. And I said, hey, how about if I order you 2 of each? That way you bump up and get your 100 PV for the month. And she's like, okay. How much head trash did I have even wanting to ask for that, right? Because I know that, she's on a small income. But she's like, nope, that'd be great. I just said you get 2 months worth and you'll be commission qualified, yada yada yada. Well, anyways, I said, hey, how's your friend doing that has a Lyme? She has a friend with Lyme. She's like, oh, I don't know, I haven't. She's kind of in and out. And so I went back and searched that message, and I woke it up. I'm just like, hey, Brianna, hey, what other questions do you have about plexus? And then Cami messaged me this morning. She's like, oh my word, she's there. And I have an appointment to chat with her at 11 a.m. this morning. So all that to say, go wake up those messages, because team growth is team growth, right? When you tap into your level twos, your level threes, your level fours, and their potentials, then you're going to create stability and depth in your organization and your team. So I loved that little point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take 5 minutes, because this is not just a listen to Megan talk hour. Okay, we're going to actually get to work. And the cool thing about this, and Tammy Conacher was on Brooke's call yesterday. I don't know how many other people were, but Tammy's like, oh my word, I sent like 20 messages. And it's because when you work together and you're not overthinking, and I'm just giving you a task and you're just like, boom, do it. You do it, right? And you don't overthink. So that's the cool thing about working together. So I want you to choose 3 people that you want to reach out to right now. Maybe it's someone that's commented recently on your Facebook post. It doesn't even have to be a Plexus post. You can just, if you've never chatted with them about Plexus and you think they might be a little bit interested, let's send them a message, okay? It doesn't even have to be someone that you know super duper well. It can be, more of a little bit of a random acquaintance, but you have to go for the ask, okay? And that's how you create interest, is sometimes people just need to be asked and initiated with. So I'm actually going to screen share, and I'm going to show you a message that I really liked that Brooke shared yesterday. Whoop. Nope, I'm not wanting to leave the meeting. All right, so first connection. I really liked this one. Let's see where it is. Here it is. Hey, I know you're super into health and wellness, and so am I. For the last few months, I've been sampling a health system that has made me feel better than ever. This might be something right up your alley. Would you be open to checking it out if I sent you a short 3-minute video? Oh, where did we go? There we go. So actually, you know what? I'll just type that in the comments, and we're gonna mute for 5 minutes. And I want you to send 3 messages out. If you have any particular questions, guys, those of you that are just now popping on, feel free to put them in the chat, and I will snag that. But I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. We'll send out 3 messages. If you can send out more, that's even better. And I will type out that little reach out message. All right. Did you guys get a message sent? Got a message sent. Give me a thumbs up or type it in the comments. Good, good. Okay, so that if you're just popping on, we were sending out 3 messages to reach out to people right now to just share Plexus with them, people you have not talked to before about Plexus. So these aren't follow-ups. This is going for the ask, okay? And I did pop another message example in there. So, this is the other one. I've always admired how much you are into health, but I've never talked to you about my health journey this past year. I started using plant-based supplements and I've never felt better. I was curious if you'd be open to learning more. And so typically I'll just say, like, if you're starting to get responses back, because sometimes in the morning people actually will respond back really, really quickly. A lot of times what I'll say is, hey, if I sent you over a quick video, would you take a peek at it? And would you have 5 minutes right now to take a look at it, or whatever, 1 minute right now, and then send either the microbiome video if you know that they're more into gut health, or the triplex video. The triplex is a little bit more focused on weight loss, so just FYI on that. But the other thing is, sometimes if they're like, yeah, I actually be interested in learning more, then sometimes I'll just ask a question like, hey, well, do you have any health goals? So that's a way to respond. The other thing too is, sometimes if it's depending on your relationship with the person, I will a lot of times just transition over to like, hey, do you have like 5 minutes to chat? And I can explain a little bit more. And so as soon as I can move it over to a phone conversation, I try to, because it's so much easier to chat with people that way. I did want to address Sally's question. So she said, do you have a suggestion for transitioning from a no to a business reach out to moving to the products? I find people tend to shut off after the business ask. I'm looking for a strategy to engage their interest. Okay, so that's a great question. Like when they respond back, Sally, are they like, no thanks, or do they expound a little bit?
They're mostly just saying, no thanks, I don't need this, and it's almost like they've totally, I'm not interested in the business, I don't want to hear anything else that you have to say. So and some of them I can get them moved over a little bit, and I always say, these products are great for everybody, or I'll try to make it generic, but I feel like I'm not getting them transitioned.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, no, I think that can happen. I think sometimes we can also misjudge. It's really hard. I feel like when we're messaging people, there's like a veil there more than if we were talking to someone in person. You can read them a little better, like if they're interested, if they're like still engaging you. And sometimes if you approach the business first, it's like, well, you can still ask the question like, hey, well, that's totally fine. And I would use my own story, like, hey, I did not start this for the business. And so, I would maybe feel the same way as you do, like, oh, no thanks, not interested in that. But, because of what I know what a blessing that the business is, because these products work so well. So I was just curious, would you be open to learning a little bit more about the products? Do you have that book, Get Over Your Damn Self? She addresses that. You might go back into that chapter, because she talks about leading with the business first and then defaulting to the products. So you may like peruse back into that chapter just to kind of take a peek on how she transitions the conversation. But one thing I'm learning from Brooke is we just have to address the elephant in the room. And you just speak from the heart really genuinely, and don't be afraid to ask the question. So if they're like, nope, not interested in selling something, then I would just be like, okay, hey, no worries. Like, I think I probably would, if I would have been approached first about the business, I probably would have said no too. But I know what the products do for people. And then just say, would you be open to learning more about the products? Angie or Amy or anyone else that has experience with these kind of conversations, if you have anything you want to chime in, feel free to add it in the comments or unmute and share. Spanish speaking 3-minute video.
Well, I'm always up in people's grill about whether it's the business or the products, but like you guys have kind of said, I know that you have to reach out with the business first, which is kind of hard sometimes, right? Because like people, it's harder to reach out about the business than is the products. But if you reach out about the products first, then you're kind of shut down. But the thing is that I have learned to stop prejudging people, because when we do that, like some of the people that I ended up helping get to silver last month were people that I was so scared to say, would you be interested in a $300 or $700 referral bonus? Because I was like, well, they have money, so what's that to them? Or they're too busy or whatever. But I was too busy too. I'm still too busy, but I'm making it happen. And so just learning not to prejudge. I don't know if Megan already said that. I was finishing my message there, but not prejudging people. Matter of fact, you guys say a quick prayer for me, because I'm reaching out to a lady today. She is an ambassador on my team, and she literally is a millionaire. Like, they could buy and sell us a bazillion times over. They're so wealthy, but I know she has people who need these products. And if I take it, like, she kind of looks at me and feels sorry for me. Oh, if I can help Angie, I will. She always, anything I ever ask her, she always does it. But I'm afraid, a little bit scared, but I'm doing it today. Like, hold me accountable. All of you message me and say, did you reach out to Joy? Because I'm doing it. And here's the thing. I know she has people who need these products. They might not want the business, but they need the product. So I got sidetracked there, but I wanted to ask you guys to pray for me and encourage me.
No, that's good. That's why accountability is so good. And if you're not a little bit scared to be reaching out to people, then maybe you're not doing it right. That's my 2 cents. Because I mean, Angie's an emerald, Amy is an emerald, I'm a diamond. And I mean, I still get stuck in messages. I still, I'm not always sure what to say, or my head trash starts speaking to me like, oh, they wouldn't be interested in the business, or they said no to the business, so I guess they don't want the products either. And so it takes that initiation of, asking the question. Kristen sent her first cold message in forever. That's awesome. One thing that's helped me also in like the way I think of things is to not call it a cold message. I think when we use that term, it means like we're contacting someone first that we have no idea if they're interested in Plexus. So like the cold message sounds or feels like, uncertain. I don't know if they're really interested. I am initiating this message, but I have felt like to reframe that to I'm doing reach outs. I'm doing invites, right? It softens it for me where I don't feel like cold. To me sounds like creepy and cold and like I don't want to do it. So sometimes reframing or just renaming the message that we're sending out, like, you know what, I'm talking to people about Plexus today, and sometimes I will literally say that when I'm reaching out. One thing, if you didn't have time to make a list of your potentials or who you're going to reach out to, you don't have a hot 20 list, which you're going to do today. But if you don't have that yet, go to the green dots in Messenger. Those are all the people that are currently on Messenger right now at this point in time. And if they are not currently in Plexus or you've never messaged them about Plexus, I would message them. You can do exactly what we just did last 5 minutes. And one thing I do is just say, hey, this is super random. You may not even remember how you connected with them. So tell them that. Like, I don't even know how we connected. Like, this is crazy, but I wanted to reach out because I am just talking to people today about Plexus. I don't know if you've heard of it or if you've seen any of my posts, but the products have helped me. I don't have PMS anymore. My autoimmune symptoms have stayed in remission. And my son Benjamin doesn't have eczema anymore. So I'm really passionate about these plant-based supplements. And I was curious if we'd be open to hearing more about it. Okay, just something simple like that.
Can I just hop in for 1 second, Megan? One thing that I've told people before in the past too, kind of like a ready-made list of reach outs, is if you're posting about Plexus in your stories, but not just Plexus, right? Like you're doing Plexus and life and all the things, but you can see everyone who views your stories. And so, you might have 100 people who've at least scrolled through your stories, whether they've really read them or looked at them or not. They're, and sometimes I'll just say, hey, I saw that you scrolled through my stories today. That makes me happy. tell me your thoughts about Plexus. You know, has anybody ever talked to you about it before? I said, or maybe it's a swear word in your house, LOL. Like I kind of make light of it because it was a swear word to me back in the day, you know, so I almost like am self-deprecating a little bit, you know what I mean? But make it light. And then they'll often, almost always respond. And they'll either be like, nah, it's not a swear word, but I'm not interested. Or yeah, actually it kind of is, you know, but then we can banter back and forth a little bit. And, you know, I acknowledge, yeah, it used to be for me too, you know? And as far as the business side of things, like I'm just, what book do we read? Get Over Yourself. She always talks to lead with the business first. I won't say that I always do that, but I will always say that it happened organically for me because I fell in love with, I just, you know, we're all social sharers, right? And I just say that, like, we all share what we love. And that's what happened to me. I just began to share what I loved. And it resulted in all of our bills paid for, you know? So just kind of like acknowledging the fact that, you know, 85% of people who are jewels never intended to be. Like, I'm surely that statistic. So, I mean, I don't know, but so I always talk about it, but I talk about it kind of like backdoor way often, actually.
Yeah, and you're conversational and just like back and forth, nonchalant. I mean, you're not pressuring anyone. You're basically just asking them, hey, are you open? Are you interested? Like, you're not trying to sign someone just because they liked your story.
And Kevin has said to me in the past before, because he's listened to conversations, you know, and then someone signs up where he's like, when I talk to you, you act almost like you don't care. And I was like, because I don't. Like, I don't, if anybody, I do care, but I'm not going to put that on somebody. Like, if I feel the least amount of pressure from somebody, I'm instantly irritated or turned off, or on principle alone, I'm not going to do it because you're making me. And that's what I used to tell him with some of his reach outs. He's like, why are you signing people and I'm not? And I said, because you're pushy. Do you know what I mean? Just act like, you know, and there's this, you know, there's a special here you can actually join for free if you want to, which is kind of cool. You know, leave it at, you know, are you interested in that? You know what I mean? But like, not be like, you got to do it now. You know what I mean? Almost like, you know what I mean? You can tell, you can smell desperation, or even just like, you can smell that whatever, you know what I mean? So it's almost like the opposite. It's like psychological, I think. Like, you know, you can join if you want, you don't have to. But if you don't, you're totally missing out.
Yeah, no, and I think that that's really key, because sometimes we can kind of get desperate and like, I need that last person so I can go silver. And then, but people feel it in our messaging. And so I think it is really important. And sometimes the fear of being salesy, or the fear of being pushy, makes you that way, because your verbiage and your confidence and things like that tend to like lean in that direction, where Amy's like, take yourself out of it, take the pressure off of them. Like, hey, if you're open, great. If you're not, awesome. Like, I literally tell people, like, if you're not willing to do this for 60 to 90 days, like, don't do it. Or if I say you don't have peace about it, pray about it. If you literally do not have peace, don't do it. Just what, you know, think about it. You know, it's okay. Like, it took me 18 months. So bring your story into it. The other thing too about reaching out about the business first is, I think it is important to do that, especially if that's scary to you. Like, get used to doing some reach outs like that, especially if it's someone that you know and you thought through your contact list and you're like, oh my word, they would be really good at this. Message those people and tell them that and just ask them. But the other thing is, I don't know that I would have been interested in I don't know that I would have said yes to Plexus if someone reached out to me about the business first. So in some sense, you kind of have to know who you're talking to. And obviously you're not going to always know everyone in everyone's specific situation. But if it was the right person reaching out to me about the business and explaining why and connecting with me, then I would maybe be more open to it. But I was sick at the time and I was kind of over it. So if someone was going to come to me and talk to me about a business, I probably would have been like, no thanks, get lost, lady. Just saying. Okay, so for a lot of us, it has been because we have results with the products and it makes sense. I mean, your results don't even have to be earth-shattering. Do not let yourself get into that mode of, well, story's not as good as hers. Okay, Tamara Holloway has a multi-million-dollar business because she doesn't have any sugar cravings anymore. And she posted about that. And she posted about her Lexus. And she put, so it is important to not discount the small things. The other thing that I'll just say really quick is, you always have a reach out list. So if you're sitting in the carpool line and you're like, whoa, I have 15 minutes. Who should I message? Or you're sitting down to nurse the baby and you're like, whoa, I have 20 minutes. Who should I message? If you don't have a pre-planned list, do not let that hold you back, because like Amy said, instant list, go to your stories. Hopefully you're making stories every day on Facebook or whatever, a post. and go message anyone that has never tried Plexus before that's liked or commented on that. So that's an easy thing to do. One thing that I want you to do is, if you have ever had someone try a 3-day box, either a beauty box or one of those, the other box that, the Healthy Happy box, sample box, type in the comments a 1 if you ever had someone try it and either, or get the box and either 1, not try it, or 2, not respond back or get started on like a 30-day, 60-day supply of Plexus. If that's ever happened to you, it's happened to me multiple times. I mean, I just messaged a lady again that bought a beauty box in March, and she finally messaged me back 2 days ago. She's like, oh yeah, it went to my neighbor's house. I'm like, okay, no wonder you still haven't even tried the products yet. So if you've ever had that happen, put a 1 in the comments, because we're going to talk about that. If you've ever had someone even pop into a 3-day challenge and then they don't do anything, they don't move. So if you've ever had that happen, okay, surely I'm not the only one. Oh, good. There's a couple other people too.
And I got a bowl.
Hey, can you go find Maddie? She's gonna make you some breakfast. Okay. And then shut the door, please. Okay, so basically they've tried, but they haven't taken the next step. They've sampled, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with those little boxes, but I feel like it does take extra diligence to get those people started on a longer trial of Plexus. And so I'm going to share some verbiage that Brooke shared yesterday, and she is so good. I said this already, but she addresses the elephant in the room, and she's like so genuine in how she crafts her messages, because it's just like how she talks. And so I think as much as we can be thinking about how can I connect to with this person heart to heart, and so literally tell them, hey, I was sitting here and I was thinking about you. Tell them that, like message them that, hey, I literally, or you can voice message it, hey, I was totally thinking about you today, and you probably didn't notice a whole lot when you were on that little 3-day beauty box, or that 3-day, what is it called? I can't remember the other name of the box, whatever, the sample box. I was just curious if you'd be open to trying a 30-day, if you'd be open to trying this for 30 days. Let me see how she said this. Send a picture of the specific pack, okay? So if you're not utilizing that album on the team page, I constantly am using it, because it's every welcome pack with a little tiny description underneath. So go save those to notes in your phone, or just know where they're at in the albums of the team page so that you can utilize that. So whatever pack that they were on sampling or whatever, send them that welcome pack and say, hey, it's only $99 for this 30-day system, okay? So you don't have to call it like a 30-day welcome pack. Call it a 30-day system. I'm dying to get you started. What do you say? That is really bold. I'm not that bold in my messaging, and that's probably why I'm not signing people up like Brooke does, okay? So I'm going to try this, because I have multiple people that use that little box. And they're going to notice a whole bunch more if they do it for 30 days, right? They do it for 60 days.
Hey, Megan.
Yeah.
Can you put that verbiage that you just used in the, and I was just going to tell you guys, once this is over, you can't see those. You guys probably all know this, but if you'll just go tap on the word, whatever Megan types out, and copy, and you can post it right into your notes while we're on here.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, definitely copy paste the wording. Okay, so I'll put that in the comments, and then I'll share this other verbiage also. So if you had someone that got a box and then they never even tried the products, she said, address the elephant. Hey friend, I know you have the box. I was just sitting here thinking, I wonder if there's something holding you back. Okay, and I know Angie has had some, asked people that before, or even if they just continually do not respond to you. I know she said, hey, did I offend you? Oh dear, did I offend you? So don't be afraid to ask like bold questions like that. Okay, so if you have someone that has tried a sample, or tried a sample box, or that's been in one of your 3-day challenges and has not taken the next step, let's go message them. Let's see if we can get 3 done. If some of you are branding new and you're like reaching out to people for the first time, then just go back to that original, invitation message that I sent in the chat thread, and send that out to 3 more people that you haven't introduced or shared Plexus with yet, that you think might be open to trying it with you. Okay, we're gonna mute, and I'm gonna put the verbiage in the comments. Oh, I don't know that Brooke asks that, did I offend you question, but Angie Amberzetti has asked that before when she has crickets after crickets with someone that she's been, chatting with, and then all of a sudden they, you know, go MIA. So yeah, it's in messages. hmm So I've never used that before, but I hear it's effective and people respond back. If you know that they haven't tried it. So like my girl, she literally hadn't tried it, and it's been what, 6 weeks. But I found out that her neighbor got the shipment for whatever reason and just like decided to let her have it about a week ago. So if you know for a fact that they haven't tried it, obviously that message would not work if you don't know for a fact that they haven't tried it. But if they're like, yeah, I haven't tried it yet, or then you can be like, hey, I mean, if you're in conversation and then they admit like they still haven't tried it, ask them what's holding them back. I have multiple people that still are sitting on samples of mine, so I need to message them back and be like, hey, I was just curious if you've tried that sample of pink drink yet. It's just a taste test. I'm sitting here wondering if there's something in particular holding you back. If you're scared it's going to send you to the bathroom, or something like that. Let me know your thoughts. So I think it's just addressing and asking questions. Okay, so now we're going to talk about $1.99 packs. And so we were talking about this on Marco Polo yesterday, but I always start with $1.99 packs when I'm encouraging people to get started on the products. Sometimes people aren't going to go for that, but that's where I start, because if I was starting again, that's what I would do. It is more of an investment, but when people invest in something, they're more likely to take it seriously. And so I believe that the $1.99 packs are the most comprehensive. It is the most bang for your buck. You get like 7 products instead of 3 to get, to try. And also, I feel like it's a better deal. It's a better savings. So they're saving like 50% when they do those $1.99 packs. Some of the Joy-On ones are even more than 50%. But I think it's important to send the exact out the door price. So if this was helpful to me actually at the end of April, because I signed like 6 people in the last 2 days of the month, or maybe the last 4 days of the month. But anyways, I was like getting people signed, and I knew exactly how much it was. And that's what people's main question was, well, how much is that actually going to cost me with the 10% discount and only the $9.95 joint fee instead of the $40, and and well, there's shipping and there's tax, and that kind of depends on your state. I would rebate that. I mean, if you have someone that close that's considering getting started, rebate them the shipping and tax. I mean, it's going to be a little different per state, but I mean, PayPal them the $8 or whatever it is, right? It's worth it. You're helping someone get started, and we can only help people if we get them started. Sometimes we get them in this cycle and all they're doing is learning, like they're invited to the next 3-day challenge. You got to close them. So I think it's point blank, just ask them. Oh, the $99 welcome pack is $108, and the $99 one, the $108 plus shipping and tax. The $199 one I can look up. I think it was. Does anyone know what it was at the end of the month?
You mean with shipping and tax, basically?
Well, no, just with the 10% discount off $199 packs and just the $9.95 join fee. Do you remember what that was?
Well, so I think this does include that, but mine was, the girl that did mine it was around $216. Once they took off the 20, so she got the $179 plus the 10. So obviously the $189, and then with her shipping and tax. So I don't know. Obviously it depends on, I didn't look at the number before that, but.
Okay. I was thinking my girls was $221, but I could look it up. But again, you could just say, hey, it's 10% off. So they're getting $20 off $199. So it's $179 plus shipping tax. So yeah, Chelsea's was $209. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. So do you guys have anyone? Oops, go ahead. Okay. Do you guys have anyone that you feel like you're stuck in messaging with? I wanted to take a minute and talk about that really quick. Does anyone have any messages that you're just like, where do I go from here? Anyone want to pipe up and share one of those messages? Anyone have anyone objecting about cost? or you have a message that just kind of got dropped because they're like, well, I can't afford it right now. So one thing that you can do, and you can actually go into messages, even three-way messages that you have, maybe not your level ones, but where cost is an issue, you could say, you know, hey, I was thinking about you today, and it doesn't matter if it's not your level one, okay? You can just say, hey, I was thinking about you today. I know you were struggling with XYZ. Go back in the messages and look what they were struggling with. If cost wasn't an issue, is there anything else holding you back from getting started? Okay, so you're just asking a simple question and you're continuing that conversation. You're pressing into a conversation, right? You're addressing the uncomfortable things, right? So there's one. Another thing is they can, which I typically don't recommend this, but they could join for $9.95, and you could ask them, you know, hey, if I could start you on the products and show you a way to get your products covered by referring people to me, would you be open to that? And some people could join for $9.95. You could host a Zoom or help them send three-way messages, and then help them get paid. You help 3 people start this week, and let's get you that $100. So that's always an option also, but you're going to have to be a lot more proactive with that type of person. And most people, I'll say most people are not going to necessarily know what to do, know what to say, or just naturally go and do the things. It's going to take you helping them to know how to message people, okay, and actually sending specifics. Yeah, so Wendy, try that verbiage. If you have people ignoring you, try the verbiage. I had a gal last month put off buying because of a potential dentist bill. Yeah, yep, I'll put them in the comments. Does anyone else have a starter or a stuck message that they want to address? Oh, I think also sharing the numbers of, hey, if we help people, 3 people get started with starter packs, you'll make between $260 and $500, depending on the starter pack that you pick and that your people pick. So you will pay 89 bucks, and through a referral program, you can make $260, and this would help pay for next month's products also. So I think it's just like putting out the numbers for them so that they can see it and then be like, oh my word, that's super cool. But they still have to do the messaging. It's not like they just connect you to the person. Does that make sense? They can't just send you like a list of phone numbers and say, contact these people. They are going to have to contact the people and get them on the Zoom or get them in the three-way message, but you're going to send them specific wording on like what to say. So, and it's a, hey, let's do this right now. Brooke was talking about the immediacy of hosting those Zooms. So it's not like, hey, let's do it next week. It's like, hey, do you have 3 to 5 people that you could call and see if they be game, and we'll pop on a Zoom tomorrow. So it's like set the next set the next time. All right. So she said this is her system. Let's do this right now. So take 5 minutes and jot down 20 names. So this is with, you know, your person that's like, yeah, I'd like to get that referral bonus. So have them make their hot 20 list, and then you'll either send message examples, or hop on a Zoom with them, right? And or ask them, invite people to the Zoom. Okay, so a lot of people are hosting those little Zooms, and then pick a time tomorrow. So basically, we have to be the fire behind them because that's the important thing, right? So yeah, so you'll send them the message and say, hey, can you send this out to your 20 friends? And then have them screenshot their responses so you can help them respond back. Let's see. Okay, so I'll just talk about stuck messages really quick. So you have to be a detective, right? Sometimes you have to go check out what's happened in their life and like scroll their Facebook feed to really like know them. She said, Brooke was talking about lazy follow-up versus committed to finding a solution follow-up, okay? So it is important. It's gonna take an extra couple seconds to go find out, maybe something crazy is going on in their life. Okay. But to just say, hey, I was thinking about you today. And maybe this is a message that got dropped and you just forgot to follow back up with them, but that they have like horrible IBS or, whatever health issue that's going on. They're plagued with migraines. Hey, I was thinking about you today. I don't know if you can relate this to this, but I wanted to drop my friend's story below. And that's why it's important to be listening and watching Team Page or the Learning Center Tribe, just to look for, various testimonies of people. Because then you're like, oh my word, I just saw this testimony. This could totally, maybe Chelsea would be interested in this. I know she struggles with migraines. And so just genuinely reaching out and be like, hey, I don't know if you could relate to this, but I thought of you when I read this. And just put the story in the Facebook message, or in the Facebook message. If someone shows interest, but there's no action, okay, so Hannah was talking about this yesterday, where she's even sent her link and all the things. And so it's just, a simple message. Hey, we've chatted a bunch and I've been thinking about you. I was just curious if there's something holding you back. Okay, that's a really super honest, genuine way to reach out. And then the other thing is, when you're helping people get started and helping them to go silver, it's even, encouraging them like, hey, what friends could you call up and just say, hey, I'm starting this. Would you do this with me? Okay, you're basically asking for, that's a super simple, like your BFF, your mom, your sister, your hubby, who else? Like your dirt list, essentially. But just asking like, hey, I'm starting this, like, you're not the expert, right? You're not pretending like you know everything about everything now with health, but you're just saying, hey, I'm starting these natural supplements and I need some accountability partners. Would you do it with me? So. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions. Oh, Valina was asking, what 3-minute video would you recommend that we share? Yeah, so if you go to Plexus Worldwide on YouTube, there's one called the microbiome, and there's one that's called the triplex, and they're both like a minute long. And those are the ones I always send. It's just like a quick, brief overview. I don't send big, long messages. Okay, and then the last thing we're gonna do is, who do you know that's a stylist in the fitness field, a nutritionist, and in some way, shape, or form is in health or beauty? Do you guys have any names pop up? So jot those names down really quick. I wrote down Terry, Megan, Martha, Casey, and Casey. And I voice messaged each one of those people yesterday. So those are people in my life that are stylists of some sort, okay? And so Brooke was talking about, like, those are the type of people that you want on your team. They have big networks, they have loyal clientele, they're already in the industry of like making people feel better and feel more pretty, things like that. And so you can approach them from that angle. And so she just gave some examples of messages like, hey, Jenna, I'm sure this is never something you've ever thought about doing, but you're already helping women feel good, feel loved, feel pretty. And that's exactly what I do in my business. I was just curious if you would be open to talking more about it. And Brooke also said, like, once you get them on the phone, you can hone in on the fact that we have skincare and beauty. She's like, there's going to be diamonds that build their business off of the Joyome products. She's like, so those people are coming. But she said you can start with, instead of saying Plexus is a gut health company, she's like, you can just focus on, hey, we have consciously clean skincare. We focus on natural weight loss, and we have gut health products. Every single person sitting in your chair will love these. And she said, ask them, who is your ride or die? Let's chat with them. And she's like, let's get your mom started and let's do a little Zoom. I'll talk about my story, the products, what Plexus does for people, and we can help them learn and help them get started. And she said, do not avoid the business conversations. Get on the phone, ask them about life, listen, connect, and collect info. She said, just listen, listen, listen. And then she said, just chat about the 3 target areas of Plexus: consciously clean skincare, natural healthy weight loss, and gut health. And you know, she said you can hone in on the fact that Plexus can fit their clientele perfectly. There's no one demographic. You can make an incredible living and get paid very, very well for your time. And she said you can actually improve your clients' loyalty, which benefits you because you're helping them in more than one way. You're not just helping them feel pretty, you're not helping them just look pretty, actually you're helping them feel pretty right from the inside out because they're not feeling blah and yucky. So she said you really have to paint the picture. You know, 3 people and you can earn up to $520. And she said, and then talk numbers. So, I mean, people that are in the health, fitness field, stylists, nutrition, I mean, those people are business people. And she said, do not shy away from those business conversations. And guess what? The more you do those, the better you're gonna get at talking about them. So I'm gonna put some of that verbiage in the comments and let's just finish up the last like 5 minutes or so and send out some messages to some stylist friends. You may have never even chatted with them about Plexus before, but it's worth the ask. I know that people are going to have to pop off here. I need to pop off soon. But if you haven't gotten all of that stuff copied and pasted into the notes of your phone, just take screenshots of it. That's what I was doing yesterday. I'll probably put these screenshots on that Consistency Club group, just so that you guys can check them out. Okie doke. It has been an hour. I hope this has been helpful. Is there any other quick questions that any of you have? Any responses back that you're not sure how to answer? Spanish speaking video, yeah, I can send you. If you type in Spanish on the team page, all that stuff should pop up. I did schedule a post for tonight that I can send you, Wendy, about Spanish stuff. Okie doke. Hopefully you guys were able to capture all of the verbiage. If not, I will try to throw as much as I can into the Consistency Club group. I might just make one post and post the examples below. So I gotta run. Thanks guys for popping on. I hope you have a great day. Happy Thursday. Looking forward to a fabulous rest of the week and a great weekend. All right. Happy Mother's Day too to all you mamas. Bye guys.